They just run these big platforms. But make no mistake, we're losing our citizenship and becoming subjects again.
Now, there are a lot of people who like being on TikTok, both because it gives them a platform, I think particularly for people who may be coming from underrepresented communities and feel like they don't see themselves always represented in a lot of mainstream media. And then there are people who are making money off of TikTok, whether they're influencers or people who are able to promote their businesses. What would you say to those people about the place that would be left for them under the TikTok that you envision?
Yeah, well, first of all, Project Liberty is massively pro-technology, including social media. But I just think people should own their personal data, their social graph. And it is, make no mistake, our personhood in a digital age. These platforms know everything about us and therefore have made judgments about us, our persona, right? And so it's not about not connecting or not having these platforms. That part is awesome. It's about owning yourself. Like, imagine an internet, rather than clicking mindlessly on the terms and conditions of use of a few big platforms, imagine an internet that clicks on our terms and conditions of use for our data. It's all now doable. As far as the TikTok influencers and community and creators are concerned, there's just an article today, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal, on how these people, a lot of them are just getting by, and it's a full-time job, and those are the ones that are above average in terms of success. Where's all the money being made, right? In the platform. Why not just create a new model and let the 170 million people own a piece of the platform? We have a football team, American football, in not that far from here, in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that's owned by the fans. So let's Green Bay Packer TikTok. Let's give the people that create the value in this future internet. It's your data. That's the value proposition. And it's time that we reset how it works, because, as I said, it's old technology that went off in a direction, but it's just technology. We can change it. It doesn't have to be this way. And let's bring solutions forward. And I want to emphasize also, Project Liberty is not a moan and groan and whiny organization about complaining about things. It's trying to bring people and solutions forward, and not just be sitting here watching kids, take their life, or, be anxious and depressed and us all get into, arguments about silly things. I would add, the algorithms are working beautifully, because the algorithms are actually designed to keep us half over here and half over here, each thinking we're 100% correct.
Let me ask you about the algorithm. Do you think you would be buying the powerful TikTok algorithm if you purchased the company?
No, we don't want it, and we don't need it, which is why I think our People's Bid has a great chance of succeeding. We don't believe that in the model. We don't believe in the top-down model, which is, and we don't believe that just replacing China controlling money with some other sovereign's controlling money solves anything. We believe in a different model where we move people over to this new protocol. It's called DSNP for anybody that's interested. And you can go to projectliberty.io and learn as much as you'd like about DSNP. And we welcome your input, your feedback. And as I said, there's nearly a million people now on this new protocol, and at the moment you can access it through a privacy-oriented social media app by the name of MeWe, M-E-W-E, and they're the first use case that's migrating their 20 million users over, and they're the proof of concept. Now we need scale for this to work.
So you would be buying TikTok without the algorithm. What's the value of that purchase to you?
The value in TikTok is the 170 million users. Many of you are most are very tech savvy. Big data, small algorithm beats big algorithm, small data any day. There are many, many people and already approaching us from different parts of the world, not just the US, wanting to help rewrite algorithms. But we believe the algorithms are not a bad thing if people are permitting their data to be used. It's very different to look, if I describe democracy, you probably wouldn't say autocratic, centralized, surveillance-based, predatory, exploitive. Probably, right? Well, then why would we have tech that's surveillance-based and very centralized? Let's permission the use of our data and so that we have agency again, as well as economic value. A voice and a stake. That's the internet that I think we should have. And then we'll build algorithms. We'll use the tech. The internet is awesome. It's just not being used in an awesome way right now.
You've talked about having several people approach you to be part of this bid. Oh, give us some names. Break some news for us, Frank.
Well, I'm not going to break much news for you here, but we will be. Please watch because we'll be breaking it every week. We just did announce, however, that Audrey Tang has joined the Institute as a senior fellow, former digital minister of Taiwan. At 4:05, a report that was done, a worldwide piece of research, is going to be released by Paul and Tamika, along with Vivian. And please tune in and watch what's happening. This is early innings for this bid, but we're deadly serious about it. And we have, what encourages me is the massive amount of incoming we've received from people that want to be involved, organizations that want to be involved, endowments, foundations, pensions funds, normal capital as well, looking for a return. But there's a lot of capital that's also looking to have impact as well as a return because they know the current internet is broken.
Let me just ask you as we wrap up here, certainly in the U.S., we're in a presidential election year, and TikTok, the future of TikTok is very much a political issue there. How much of the future of the platform in the U.S., your bid, the overall sale of it, do you think depends on the outcome of the U.S. election?
I don't think it will. I think maybe some decisions will get made because of the election. It will see resolution and some movement in terms of divestment or sale. I do believe that's going to happen between now and election time. But this is not a partisan issue. This is not a left-right issue. Look, I've spent more time on Capitol Hill in the last 3 months than I had in the last 10 years. And
I've got my flag.
every single person we speak to, I'm talking elected officials on both sides of the aisle, are massively interested in this and encouraging us because they see the problems. It's not, look, I am not telling you anything you don't already know, particularly those of you that have children. This is a serious issue that we need to deal with, and it's not a left-right or liberal-conservative issue. This is a issue for every free society and for every human being, and we need to get a grip on this. The good news is we can. I greenlit Project Liberty in December of 2019 with a bunch of brilliant technologists who came forward with the idea of the question I asked them was, how would you fix the internet if you had total control and white space? And their insight was this idea of a universally accessible global social graph, where rather than our personal data being sucked up and in these big platforms, it was accessible to everyone. No one owned it. Everybody owned it, depending on your perspective. And we each have control of our data. And we decide how to permission it. And that there's 4.5, going on 5 years of tech being built. And again, lots of people building on it now. There's a queue beyond MeWe, and we hope you build on it as well.
Well, it's a fascinating issue. So much more we could dig into. Let's get back together and do this again when we can bring some more news. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being a great audience.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you all.